Most people live inside their own thoughts more than they live inside their own lives. They wake up already tired, not because their body is weak, but because their mind never stopped working the night before. Some people replay conversations that are already over. Some people create problems that do not exist yet. Some people carry questions that have no answers, and still refuse to put them down. The hardest thing about life is not failure. It is the mind that refuses to stop after failure. It keeps going back, rewriting moments, changing words, imagining better outcomes that never happened. It builds endless versions of the same pain. And slowly, without noticing, a person becomes trapped inside their own thinking. What if the thing making you suffer is not your life, but your mind reacting to your life? What if your thoughts are not telling the truth, but only showing fear in different forms? This is the story of a boy who lived inside his thoughts until his thoughts started living inside him. My name is Ian, and this story is about a notebook that never stopped writing itself. The boy lived in a small town surrounded by long empty roads and quiet fields. His life looked ordinary from the outside. He went to school. He came back home. He helped in a small shop near his house. But inside his mind, nothing was ever quiet. He carried a notebook everywhere. Not because he loved writing, but because his thoughts did not stay in his head unless he wrote them down. At first, it was simple. He wrote school tasks. He wrote small reminders. He wrote ideas that felt important at night but meaningless in the morning. But something strange started happening. The notebook began to feel heavier every day. Not physically. Emotionally. Every page he wrote at night would feel different the next morning. Sometimes he would open it and find sentences he did not remember writing. Sometimes the words would repeat in different forms. Sometimes the same thought would appear again and again, rewritten in slightly different ways. It felt like his mind was refusing to close. Like a door that kept reopening even when locked. The boy started fearing the notebook. But he also needed it. Because without it, his thoughts felt louder inside his head. So he carried it everywhere, like a burden he could not drop. The town around him was slow and quiet. Old tea shops. Dusty streets. Trees that moved gently with the wind. But inside him, there was always noise. Questions without endings. Memories without closure. Fears without faces. He would sit alone near the riverbank after school, staring at the water, trying to match its silence. But even the river seemed calmer than him. And that made him feel smaller. People around him noticed his habit. They would see him writing again and again, even when nothing was happening. One shopkeeper once laughed and said, "It is just a notebook, why are you always lost in it?" A classmate once said, "You think too much, just live." But the boy did not know how to stop thinking. He tried. He really tried. But the more he tried, the louder it became. At night, he would lie down and close his eyes, only to see thoughts moving like endless pages flipping inside his mind. And the notebook beside him would remain open, as if waiting. Waiting for more thoughts. Waiting for more noise. Something strange began to happen after that. The notebook started filling itself faster. Even when he was not writing. He would open it and find new pages filled with his handwriting. Thoughts he never consciously wrote. Fears he never admitted. Memories twisted into new forms. It felt like the notebook had become a mirror of his mind. Not what he wanted to think. But what he could not stop thinking. He stopped showing it to people. He stopped talking about it. Because how do you explain a notebook that writes what you feel before you understand it yourself? Days passed like this. Slow. Heavy. Confusing. The boy became quieter in real life, but louder inside. He stopped enjoying school. He stopped enjoying food. Even conversations felt distant, like he was listening from far away. His life was no longer outside him. It was inside his head. One evening, something broke inside him. He was sitting near the river again. The sky was turning orange. The wind was soft. But his mind was not. He opened the notebook. And for the first time, he saw something that made him freeze. Every page was full of the same sentence. In different handwriting styles. Different sizes. Different intensity. But the same message repeated again and again. You are not enough. You are not enough. You are not enough. He closed the notebook immediately. His hands started shaking. The river kept flowing like nothing had changed. But inside him, something cracked. That night, he could not sleep. He kept hearing the sentence in different voices. Soft voice. Angry voice. His own voice. It felt like his mind had turned against him. Like his thoughts were no longer his own. The next morning, he went to school but did not attend classes. He walked instead. Without direction. Without purpose. The notebook stayed in his bag, heavier than ever. He reached an old abandoned structure near the edge of town. A broken building with empty rooms and dust-covered walls. No one went there anymore. He sat inside one of the rooms and opened the notebook again. This time, something different happened. The pages were blank. Completely blank. No sentences. No noise. Just emptiness. For a moment, he felt relief. But then panic replaced it. Because silence felt unfamiliar. Too unfamiliar. And then it happened. The notebook started filling again. Slowly. Line by line. But not from him. The words appeared on their own. You keep returning to the same thoughts because you never stay long enough to see beyond them. The boy stared at the page. His breathing stopped for a moment. Then another line appeared. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. He dropped the notebook. It fell open on the floor. Pages kept turning by themselves. He stepped back, heart racing. And then, silence. Everything stopped. The pages stopped moving. The room felt still. Too still. And then, something unexpected. A voice. Not loud. Not dramatic. Calm. Coming from behind him. An old man was sitting near the broken wall. He had been there the whole time. The boy had not noticed him. The old man looked at the notebook and then at the boy. And he said, "You have been feeding it too much." The boy did not understand. The old man continued. Every thought you repeat becomes stronger. Every fear you revisit becomes familiar. And what becomes familiar starts to feel true. The boy asked, "What is this notebook?" The old man smiled slightly. "It is not a notebook. It is your mind on paper." The boy felt something shift inside him. For the first time, he did not argue. He just listened. The old man picked up the notebook carefully. He did not open it. He just held it. And said, "You are trying to solve life by thinking more. But thinking is what created the confusion." Then he placed the notebook back on the ground. And added one line. "Stop feeding it for one day. Just one." The boy looked confused. The old man stood up and walked out of the room. No instructions. No explanation. Just silence again. That night, the boy returned home holding the notebook tightly. But he did something different. He did not open it. He placed it on the table. And walked away. His mind screamed at him. Open it. Check it. Fix it. Solve it. But he did not move. He sat on his bed and did nothing. No writing. No analyzing. No thinking about thinking. Only breathing. At first, it was unbearable. His mind threw questions at him like storms. What if something is wrong? What if you are missing something? What if you forget something important? But he stayed still. Hours passed. Slowly, something unfamiliar began to appear. Space. Not emptiness. Space. The kind of silence that does not feel like absence, but like relief. For the first time, the notebook stayed closed overnight. The next morning, he opened it slowly. His hands were still uncertain. But when he turned the page, he saw something new. Only one line. You are still here. Nothing else. No repetition. No noise. Just that. He felt something loosen inside his chest. Days passed. He repeated the same habit. One simple rule. He allowed thoughts to come. But he did not chase them. He did not write them immediately. He let them pass. And something strange began to happen in his life. The notebook stopped filling itself. His mind became quieter. Not silent. But lighter. He still thought. But thoughts no longer controlled him. They came and left like visitors. Not like owners. But the real change did not happen in the notebook. It happened in him. The boy returned to school. He started listening again. Talking again. Laughing again. But now, there was distance between him and his thoughts. One day, a classmate noticed him sitting quietly without writing anything. The classmate asked, "Why did you stop carrying your notebook everywhere?" The boy thought for a moment. Then he said, "I stopped believing everything it says." That classmate did not understand at first. But something about those words stayed. Weeks later, that same classmate began noticing his own mind differently. He stopped reacting to every thought. He stopped assuming every fear was real. Without realizing it, he was changing too. Just by observing someone who had learned to pause. The boy never became someone without thoughts. That never happened. But he became someone who was no longer owned by them. And that was enough. The final lesson came quietly. One evening, he sat again near the river. The same place where his mind used to feel loud. He opened the notebook for the last time. It was almost empty. Only a few words remained on the final page. Thoughts are not commands. They are weather. They pass. He closed it. And left it there. Not as a burden. Not as a solution. But as a reminder. Maybe life was never about stopping thoughts. Maybe it was about stopping the belief that every thought is truth. Maybe your mind is not your enemy. Maybe it is just loud. And you were never meant to obey every sound it makes. You were meant to notice it. The struggle you feel inside your mind is not rare. It is shared by almost everyone. Most people just hide it better. They smile while thinking. They work while overthinking. They live while mentally repeating the past. But silence is still possible. Not outside. Inside. And it begins with one simple habit. Not reacting to every thought you have. Just watching it pass. If this story touched something inside you, it is not because it created something new in you. It is because it reminded you of something you already knew but forgot. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. If this story spoke to you, share it with someone who is trapped inside their own mind today.